Hello and welcome. Today I will keep my eyes on a newly launched product called GPT Reels. And as always with my reviews, I will dive deep into this product to see who are behind it, except for the one you can see from the sales page, and also how you can trust and use this software. It's not always, as you know, as good as most of the affiliates telling you, because they have not really looked deeply into the product. They are just more or less repeating or reformatting information from the sales page or from the videos, tutorial videos. So let's start with who are behind this software. And there we have two persons. It's Firas Alameh and Yogesh Sharma. They are well renowned and have a good reputation and have good products. However, they are not developers. Developers of this GPT Reels, you will find out when you buy it, and you will get an email from Yogesh Agarwal and his ProWebVentures, who is really the creator of this software. And it's nothing wrong with that. It's a solid company, and I have really bought a lot of stuff from them, as you can see from my member page here in their membership, which you get when you purchase several of their products. And as you can see, I also have a lot of resell rights, which I will come back to later, where I can create sub-users, and that will actually be some of my bonuses. So watch until the end of this video and you will see how you can benefit from that. With that having said, well, actually, let me continue on that theme, because using a developer like ProWebVentures, even if you are a vendor and have a good experience, you can expect to get some, let's say, reuse modules from other software from those developers. And this is exactly the case with GPT Reels, where you will be able to find that, at least if you buy the front end, it's practically exactly the same as in AI bulk shorts and real Rampage AI. So if you think of only buying the front end and you already have one of these softwares, then you really don't need it, because it will not give you anything extra. And I will also later, as I told you, present two other software from ProWebVentures, and that is AI Fame Rush and Viral Faces, which I have used to create a let's say promo video for GPT Reels, which you will see towards the end of this presentation, of this review. And that's why I'm saying, to get something extra in addition to what you could find in if you have the bulk shorts and real Rampage, you should also buy the upgrades. And the upgrades is presented on the bundle page, and I will link to that down in the description with my affiliate link, and I will also tell you how you can benefit from buying this through my affiliate link and get my bonuses. If you are a member of I Am Buyers Club, don't bother to even buy this, because you will get this in, well, you will not get a bundle, but you will get a front end and a OTO 1 in the club. So you don't have to, you can relax about this. So with this being said, let's watch this JV or this sales page for the bundle towards the end, where you'll see that the price is 317, I think, but there's also a discount coupon, which you can get 50% discount on that. And you can also, of course, select to buy only the front end if you don't have any of the other programs I mentioned earlier. So with that out of the way, let's dive into the program and see what it can do for you. Here we are in there are three different modes where you can create videos in. It's the easy mode, where you have very little control over I will start it from beginning. And it's the advanced mode, which we are into now, and there's also the hyper mode, which we will look at a little bit later. And you just put a title, you just put a prompt to generate the script, and the software will create the script for you or propose in three different options. But as you see here now, and that is worth to notice, first of all, it has created this content as one piece of content in principle divided into separate pieces, because as you know, if you create shorts for YouTube or any other platform, it should be maximum 60 seconds, 1 minute. And that means that you can only use one of this to get this, let's say, approved for shorts in YouTube, or if you use it in any of the other, Instagram or TikTok. TikTok you can of course have longer, so that is not a problem. But in this case you can only use one of these, and as you see here, they have some of these combination words, another, in summary, and so on. So be careful with that when you click on use one of these, because you will have to modify the text, the content. But in any case, in this example, I will choose, first of all, I will copy all of them just to have them for later, because they are not saved in the program. So if you want to come back and use the others, you will not be able to do that, because, as I said, they're not saved if you don't save them on in a notepad or something on your computer. So I will use the first one. I will continue and generate images. And here, of course, you have really no control over the images that will be created. It's relatively fast, but not that fast that we have to look at these dots here. I will forward. You can see approximately how much I forward. So here we have the images ready, and we are ready for the next step in the advanced mode, which is to add the voices. So you can generate the audio, and you can choose some genders, and you can also use this generated audio to create subtitles. And here is of course another problem, because it creates the subtitles not really from the text, but it created from a transcript, so you have to check the subtitles carefully. Then you can add background music. In this advanced variant you can't choose the volume of the background music, so it will be like it will be, I think it's on a default 20% of the voice, because it's very irritating if the voice is drowned out by the background music. Now I want to show you this one thing here which you should be aware of. So it can take between 30 minutes and 24 hours, and it can be 10 minutes. When this program launched, probably if you buy it now, you will find that it will take much longer time. But again, if you buy the bundle, you have some priority rendering, meaning that if you buy only the front end and one upgrade, for example, you will not have access to the priority. So anyhow, we do this, we put it for rendering. I have the bundle here, so it might be quicker. And with that I will stop this video, and we will jump into the next, where we will do the similar access for the hyper mode. And you will see the difference in the hyper mode compared to the advanced mode, which we just looked at. And here in the hyper mode you start with creating your title, and here you can see I use prompt tags to get a little bit better output. At least I had hoped it would be a better output, but it turns out when I generate the content or the script for the reel, it's actually not much difference. So we can relax about that, because you still see that you have the connection words here, furthermore, another, in conclusion. So if you decide to use one or several of this, or one out of this, you have to modify the script before you put it for rendering, because you don't want to start a standalone video with in conclusion or furthermore or another. You want to start it like it's really a standalone video. Having said that, let's continue and see what hyper mode can do for you more. And as I did before, I copy all this to have it later, because it will not be saved in the program. So now we generate images. This is exactly the same as before in the advanced variant. And in the easy mode you don't get more than one option of script. So that's the difference between the three. Another difference you will see here soon. Let's speed up this a little bit so we can see the images. And now when the images is created, there are some things that you can note. You can still select, for voice engine, but here you will have two options. You will also have the Amazon Poly voices, and you will have different kind of languages, and you also have more voices to choose among, depending on if you choose Google or Amazon here. Then the rest is as the same as for the advanced version. You select the background music, but when you select background music here, you should think of here to select something that corresponds to the length of your video, so you will not get any abrupt cuts. Therefore it's better to check the audio first, and you see it's 19 seconds. You add the subtitles at the same kind, and you can add a watermark, which is also unique for the hyper mode. You have a chance to go through the subtitle text. It will, however, not influence on the audio. So whatever you need to have in the audio, you have to do that before you start to generate the audio. And now, just as before, we are done, and we wait for the rendering. And when the rendering is finished, you will find the
offer of grabbing viewers' attention quickly with their concise format.
Now you will have some voice here. You will
They are
find
great for capturing short bursts of content that
in the respective menu for
are easily consumable and shareable on social media platforms.
Look at the final result.
Shorts and Reels in video marketing offer the benefit of grabbing viewers' attention quickly with their concise format. They are great for capturing short bursts of content that are easily consumable and shareable on social media platforms. However, one drawback is that they may not provide enough time to convey a detailed message or story compared to longer landscape video for your video marketing strategy.
We looked at the advanced mode. Now
using shots and reels instead of longer landscape videos can be beneficial for your video marketing strategy. Shorter clips are more engaging, allowing you to grab your audience's attention quickly and keep them interested. By focusing on key moments, you can convey your message more effectively and increase viewer retention.
With that, you can see immediately one of the main drawbacks of this program, and that is that it creates the nice images in the wide format, but it transforms them and squeezes them into the portrait format, the standing format, just by compressing the image. And that is, of course, maybe not the most attractive. It looks a little bit amateurish to put out this kind of reels. I really hope that they will change this, but it's an artifact from the previous programs I've told you about, AI bulk shorts and Rampage, Real Rampage. They have the same problem with this. And it doesn't matter, even if you make a custom video in that module, the output will still be squeezed depending on which videos you use. Only if you use the video editor module, you can control better the format of your input for each slide that it's created. So I just want to remark that or mark that for you. Then there's another thing, and that is about which language model they use. In the on the sales page for GPT Reels, they say that it's GPT-4 enabled. Well, is it? Let's have a look. Let's ask the GPT in the program. I just create a test project here, and since this prompt is just communicating directly with ChatGPT, we just ask which language model do you use, and let's see what ChatGPT replies with. So here you see that they are not using GPT-4, they use GPT-3, and describe how good GPT-3 is. And it is really enough for this purpose, definitely, no problem at all. So let's ask it if it can use GPT-4. And the answer is no, it can't use GPT-4 because since it's using GPT-3, it's not trained, I think it's until 23 or something. So it doesn't even know about GPT-4 yet. So what about this GPT-4o? Let's ask it about this. since it didn't know about GPT-4, it probably doesn't know about GPT-4o either. And here they think I asked for about 40 model, but obviously this ChatGPT engine doesn't use GPT-4. It might be that they will introduce GPT-4o. I understand why they don't use GPT-4, because it would be very expensive for them, because you don't pay anything for the use of ChatGPT. But with the GPT-4o, it could be, I mean, it's much cheaper than GPT-4, so it might be that they will introduce or change to GPT-4 later, because it will give a better output, let's say a more pleasant output and more actual output, depending on, of course, what kind of topic you are using this for. Okay, so that was the two drawbacks: the formatting of the images and the usage, or let's say a little bit exaggeration in the sales page that they use GPT-4 when they in reality don't do it. Anyhow, this is a solid product, and I still strongly recommend you use it, but be aware of the limitations and how to overcome them. Now, to my bonuses, if you choose to pick up. And again, members of I Am Bias Club, you will have all of this in your membership, so you don't need to buy anything if you don't want explicit bundle. Then we have to discuss some other bonuses for you. So what do we have for bonus? Well, you will get, since I have the reseller right, or in the case of Voice Cloner, which is not the ProWebVentures software, and these two others which I showed you, I will show you how I created a promo video for GPT Reels. It's a real promo video. It's really nothing that I would put out there, because I just created some text from the sales page, which you will see in a second. But I will give you not only the access to the free programs, but also a tutorial for how I created this video, which is coming up now.
Are you tired of spending countless hours and energy on video production? Say goodbye to the time-consuming and exhausting task of creating professional quality videos, because GPT Reels is here to revolutionize your video marketing game. Powered by advanced AI technology, GPT Reels.
Okay, I will spare you the rest of this video. It's actually quite long.
Is an incredible video creation.
But if you pick up the bundle, you will get, as I said, not only the free programs, but also the tutorial how I created the avatar in FameRush with the face swap software, which is a safe face swap software, and how I put my own face on top of a Pixar model or Pixar image, and also how I use viral faces to create the background and put my avatar in front of that background, and also created the lip sync with the text or with the voice, with my voice clone, which I did in a Voice Cloner. So that is my bonus, and the link you will have here. I will also put it in the comments or in the description of this video. And well, with that, thank you for watching this. I hope you get something out of it, and that you know, as always, it's very important that you know what you are buying. Not just buy anything based on the hype or on affiliates promotions where they really didn't look into the product to see what could be good and what could be bad with the product. That's about it. Thank you for watching this, and as I said, if you are not a member of yet, please consider to be, because very soon we will make some changes in the plans where we will introduce the high-level plan, where we will move the access for the Go High-level software, but more about that later. Again, thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.